rideshare pros, YouTube subscribers in the house, welcome. Today, the title of my live stream, I called it Uber Has to Repair This Vicious Circle. And with my minimum Photoshop skills, I put together this little graph. Rick Reviews, yo, first in house, how are you this morning? Ram Jam Ram, Carly's, good to see you guys. So I've been looking at the relationship problems, right? Even if you look at like a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband, wife, or whatever, I'm telling you that Uber has multiple. Love and light in the house. Mario, Patrick, how are you guys? Let's see, I don't know what Stephanie Bunch is writing there, but that just looks silly. Anyway, I've been looking at these relationships between these different parties, these three different parties, and I've noticed that a vicious circle is starting to set in. And when I read an article in this morning's newspaper that the amount of riders joining has become less and less, the amount of riders leaving has become more and more. The recruiting of drivers has become less and less. And I sort of attribute it to these sort of interrelationships between these three. So if we break it down, Tito, how are you? Tony, Dewey, good vibes. Yeah, everybody's in the house this morning. Our house in the middle of the rideshare street, my friends. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. We ready? Are we ready for this Tuesday? Are we ready? I think we are, my friends. So if we start looking at the vicious circle, right, I think it really starts, it's triggered off by the relationship on how Uber treats its drivers, right? That the drivers have lost all respect for these guys here because they're just randomly trying out stuff with drivers, randomly taking away their money, randomly making changes to the app that is completely confusing the driver. It's completely abusing the driver's shift, right? You're putting in those hard hours and you're getting out less. So when this relationship here starts going south, right, it has a ripple effect, right? Then you look at the drivers that in return try to get more creative. Look at just what happened in Washington, D.C. with the artificial surge, right? They will try and get the money back through this relationship, through this trip, right? Drivers-rider relationship, right? And they'll get very creative, and rightfully so. I think rightfully so that the driver says, hey, you screwing us over, I need to get creative, I need to get my money back, I'm not going to buy into your BS algorithm nonsense, let me see what I can do in this relationship to take care of myself, right? So this guy down here, now they start complaining. He and she says, hey, I feel that the surge is being manipulated. I feel that the drivers are taking advantage, and they start retaliating, right? So this relationship becomes toxic. And because these guys are now unhappy, started all over here, right? Came up here, moved all the way around here. Now that these guys are unhappy, they're saying, you know what, I'm going to break this relationship and I'm leaving. I'm leaving Uber. I'm going to Lyft, for example, or I'm going elsewhere, right? And that, my friends, is a massive problem that Uber needs to acknowledge. It all started here, right, with the relationship Uber driver not taking care of the driver, not rewarding the driver accordingly, right? And it just rippled all the way through here that these guys are now, and I want to read you this, it's interesting. It says, Uber's growth is slowing according to the company's first quarterly report. Remember their first quarterly report since the IPO as a public company last year. The company also said in a call with analysts, it would offer fewer promotions in the second quarter. Scoring riders could discourage new users from coming to the platform, compounding lagging growth even further. Of course, if you're going to tell riders that you're going to score them, this is a two-way street, right? This is not just a one-way street where Uber can disconnect or deactivate drivers. It has to treat the rider the same way. If you have a shitty rider on board, they have to be disconnected. They got to be treated the same way as we are, right? If we held to these high standards, they have to be held to these high standards. If we are deactivated for certain reasons, they should be deactivated for certain reasons, right? But now there's a lot of bitching and moaning going on in this department. Hey, we don't like that. So yes, that's one of the reasons why these people are leaving in droves. But I'm telling you, I think this is just my personal opinion, and I'd love to open up the room to this conversation, is that I think it's even bigger than that. I think it starts right here in this relationship, right? So are they surprised that riders are leaving, that drivers are leaving? They shouldn't be, right? They shouldn't be surprised because they've initiated it, right? They've initiated this vicious circle. So the CEO, the board of directors, the executive team, they need to get together and they need to analyze the circle. Where are we going wrong? Admitting to making faults, right? Taking responsibility is a huge thing, right? To take responsibility, that shows true leadership. Hey, I effed up here. We're going to correct this as a team. And things usually then start going right. But pretending that they have nothing to do with this issue, that they are not responsible for this vicious circle, the way I see it, right? And I haven't seen any graphs out there like that. I've just been really trying to pinpoint. I understand the drivers. I get to speak to you every single day. I get to hear and speak to drivers every single day. I know how this department feels, right? I also know and watch how this department operates. Very incapable, no leadership style. More than 60-70% of these guys need to be fired. They need to pack up and leave their desk, right? We need true leadership that understands the ridership, the rideshare business, right? But this is a department that I can connect with, right? Because I get to read it every day. I'm tapped into this. I'm tapped into the pulse, into the heart rate of the drivers. And then understanding that and seeing the behavior of these riders, the way that they feel privileged, the way that they've already been spoiled with these super low rates and they're expecting 5-star service but are not giving anything in return, right? This sets it up for an unhealthy circle. And the Uber management needs to recognize that this ain't working here and start doing things over here and start doing things over here. Because if they repair these two circles, if they admit to fault in these two circles, this relationship could become better. It's strange to me how drivers and riders have grown apart, right, over the last year and a half. 2-3 years back, guys, if anybody is Vinny Kaz, how are you, my friends? I'm going to get back in there just now and read your comments because they're all super valid. I just wanted to put this out there and get your feedback. But a few years back, I don't know who's been driving 3 or 4 years back, this relationship seemed to be intact. This relationship seems to be healthy 3-4 years back. It's not now. And I believe the biggest party to blame are the leaders at Uber for creating this vicious circle. So let's jump straight into the room. Abstract Echo, Richard Branson said, take care of the employee and they will take care of the customer. The same, absolutely. Patrick Trevinan, how are you, my friend? Boss Lifestyle, I worked at Uber. You worked at Uber in San Francisco. I would love to hear your input, my friend, if you've worked at Uber. In fact, you can hit me up afterwards if you want to do a live stream together. It's not that you have to reveal any inner secrets if you've worked at Uber at the headquarters. I would be more interested to understand why Boss Lifestyle left Uber, because he says, I worked at Uber. That's past tense, right? Why did he leave? Right? Tito Lugo, greed always kills great ideas. So many are punished for it. Very well said, my friend. Very well said. Mario S., I've been drinking for 3 years. Okay. What's that got to do with the feed, buddy? What, you been drinking coffee or Coca-Cola or what, buddy? Rideshare 411, fuego. Happy Tuesday, my friends. Vinny Kurz, Torsten, they don't care about either side. They're only concerned with how far they can push the envelope for themselves. That I agree with, right? But if you want to think long term, if you want your stock to behave, don't let the company fall apart now. You got to think long term, right? Robert Huneke, Uber has deaf ears. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Mute, right? Mute like those mutants. They don't engage. Tim Lemaine, E.A.K. Miller, good to see your face again. Great topic. And I think it may be too late to repair the disjointed relationships. It must be a drastic change, such as a basic and common sense. For instance, just starting paying drivers again. Exactly. So just that little thing, acknowledging, hey, we screwed up. We took away way too much, way too fast. We cozied up to these guys way too much. We didn't charge them enough. That right there, as Tim says, you could start initiating radical change by repairing those two steps, right? So that this relationship gets better. I don't like the fact that this feud is breaking out. It's pretty evident, right? The media is feeding it, seeing more and more articles, drivers versus riders, riders versus drivers. You know, come on, man. We're in this together. This is supposed to be a win-win-win relationship. Right now it's set up, I win, you lose. I win, you lose. And here, this is becoming a lose-lose situation, right? So, coffee. I love it. Mario, I'm with you. I have my 3 special mugs. I need my coffee, folks. And then the engines start warming up. Good vibes. I like it. Good vibes in the house. There needs to be some hospitality, but the entitlement that some riders are ratings happy. I like that. I like what you said there. Oswaldo, what do we need to do to get their attention even more? What I need to do, what you need to do, what you need to do, what I need to do. You know, this is reciprocal thinking here. These are reciprocal suggestions that we're feeding back, is that your voice, the voice of the house, the voice of the drivers, the voice of real people doing real jobs like you guys, you need to start making your own videos, right? Even if it just means you convert your Gmail username and password becomes your YouTube channel. Get on your phone and just say, hey, you know, this is how I feel about it. Or, you know, I'm appealing to the executives at Uber, try and repair this, or I suggest this, and put it in your channel, right? Then you have my full permission to come in and say, hey, you know what? I made this video, Rideshare Professor. Please share it with the group, right? By voicing yourself, by putting your voice into the universe, by putting your vibration into the universe, multiple messages over and over again, it resonates all the way through. I truly think that Uber and Lyft closely watch all the channels, whether it's Harry's channel, whether it's Dustin's channel, in the past, Uberman's channel, or Gio's channel, or Torsten's Rideshare Professor channel, or Paula's channel, or Dave the Uber. I am sure they're going through and reading your voices. The question is, do they care about your voice? Do they care to do something about your voice? That is what I question. So far, I can't see any dramatic change. Robert Huneke says, never too late to repair the relationship. They must repair if they are going to be a viable company moving forward. Beware of the goat. Beware of the goat. Oswaldo, love you, my friend. I appreciate you. Guys, update on the goat. So, the platform that my team is working around the clock. Remember, we only triggered this off about 2 weeks ago when we had like an epic session, right? And we all like, the frequency in the room was insane, guys. And we said, we got to do something about it. We got to start. My techie guy just texted me right now. I'm going to the office to work. He obviously saw my live feed and he just listened to that. I'm off to work. I'm working on it. See, this is what you guys initiate, is forward thinking, is progress, right? step in the direction for us. And these guys are motivated. The guys that work with me, these techie guys, they just love to be part of it, man. I'm like, okay, this is like my house says this. You know, we want a platform where we can talk. We want a platform where we can all meet, where we can vote on polls. These guys are like, okay, cool. We'll do that. We'll get going, right? And I'll gladly fund it. I'm putting up the money for these 6 people. I'm pulling off my tech team of other projects, right? The massive real estate project that I'm going to launch after the summer. And I said, hold off. Even if we have to launch this in August, this right now is important. The GOAT platform is important, right? And what I want people like gig workers, Rideshare United, I want them to come onto the platform. I have set up, I don't know if you guys think this is a good idea, but in the brainstorming session, I said it is vital that guys like Dustin, Harry, and every one of these come on board with us to drive this message forward so that Uber and Lyft can see we're in their rear view mirror and we're going to pass, right? We're going to pass, right? It's very important that they notice us, right? And you know, when the timing comes in the next 7 to 10 days, I have to personally call Dustin or email Harry or call these people or even reach out to a fellow brother that's dissed me in the past, like Gio, who's mocked my accent, who's made silly videos about me. I even have to reach out to him. Not even have to. I will reach out to him and I will build a bridge and I'll say, Gio, if you want to have a true revolution, right? Geo revolution, then jump on this here. And so what my team came up with, and I think this is spectacular, is that we form the all-stars, right? We are all stars, right? But these all-star YouTubers that have great followers, right? Set them up with a profile, with their video in this new social platform. So they feel included. So they feel like, hey, and this is not a platform where I'm promoting my codes, folks. I promote my codes. I make enough money through this channel. This is a platform where people come together, discuss their ideas, come to an agreement on the name, and, you know, set up their own blogs, promote their own codes. You're all invited in to capitalize on this new social media platform. So this social media platform will run for months, but it'll be the backbone, or it'll be the stepping stone for the 4th of July, because on the 4th of July, we then open up the platform and allow drivers and the public to come on board in about 4 to 5 ways, right? And the very basic entry level, and a little spoiler alert here, little the cat out of the bag thing, is that on the minimum level, you can come on board as $5, and we create a video and give you a shout out. And if you cannot go over $5, I respect that. I don't judge anyone. And if you want to come in on a $25 level, great. But I'm not going to drive the company forward like Trip with multi-level marketing based on a Ponzi scheme, based on a lot of promises. We have to give this new company shape. We have to give this little baby legs so it can start crawling, so it can walking, and so it can start running, right? And if anyone has started a company, from securing your name, the trademarks, the software, the tech team, the legal expenses, the attorneys that you have to meet, the requirements that you have to meet with the city and the state. This is not just like an overnight Rome was built in a day type of rideshare company, right? Got to work together on it. So Carlos Kruger, I need a way to contact Lyft damage support directly by phone. Anyone please help. Put the 1-800 number out there if anybody has it, or go through the phone. Mario S. gave a lot of GOAT shout outs. Ocean Ali, wait, what is the GOAT idea you're talking about? The GOAT idea, Ocean Ali, is merely a platform where we, the greatest of all time, we're all the greatest of all time drivers, where the GOAT drivers can just participate in creating a new company, right? It's a platform for drivers to participate, to form something new. So my techie is. Give me 1 second, folks. Picked up 2 amazing new clients yesterday, and past NBA players, big names, now drive their family, their kids. So they just needed a trip to the airport, and I will accommodate them. Jim Seagull, what's up? Boss Lifestyle, I'm down. Hey, in any way we can, in any fashion, form, we give it a shot, right? It's worth giving a shot at this and trying at least to get something going. There we go. So Dewey Fisher just shared the Lyft number. Much appreciated. 844-313-3667. Somebody asked for that early on. Big thank you to Dewey for sharing that. Kum Sultan in the house. Exactly. Goat life. Goat life, my friends. How far are you from Carlsbad? Me? I'm up in Calabasas. Journey with Jordan. How are you, my friend? We'll tell you unless the damage exceeds $2,500, you're better off filing a claim with your own insurance. They do not cover damages done by passengers. Thank you for sharing that. Very true statement. Ocean Ali sounds very exciting. It is very exciting. I'm super excited about it. If I get excited about it, I put the money and the time and the effort and the hours into something, right? You know, you don't want to have all these start cycles, start this, start that, start. You need to complete things, right? So what I've learned in life is completions are important, right? You can start it. Some people tend to start 20 things, but they don't focus and complete, right? You know, I mean, what is it good to be a real estate agent and you're talking to all these buyers and sellers, but you're not getting a single listing and you're not selling one or you're renting one and putting it into escrow, right? So the completion of a cycle is important, whatever you do. If it is your intent to move from X to XL, that's the start of the cycle, right? Follow it through. Offload your X vehicle for the max amount of money. Start scouting an XL vehicle for the right amount of money. Purchase the new vehicle, register the new vehicle, get on the road. You've completed the full cycle from transitioning from X to XL, right? So completion is huge. Rideshare Confessions, good afternoon. I got your message. I appreciate it. Early on, I think you texted or emailed me. Thank you. Carly's Kruger Journey, they don't pay cleaning fees for vomit. They should. They should. Somebody shared a picture with me yesterday. He said that this passenger pissed on his back seat. How gross is that, right? But then when I looked at the picture, what was just very evident, there it was. The rest of his seat, it looked so atrocious, so bad. It just showed me the person did not care about his car, never actually took the time to, you know, clean the seats, steam clean the seats. So if you're going to send a picture to Uber and Lyft, make sure that that mark, what that piss mark or vomit mark, I hate to say that here, is clearly markated. But if that is surrounded by all this other dirt, I mean, how can Uber and Lyft even compensate you for that, right? So keep your car clean, man. Treat it like you treat yourself, right? Just like the basic things that you do. You go for a shower, you clean your teeth, you keep yourself clean, keep your damn car clean, man. It's not that difficult. Danny from the Bronx. Hola, amigos. How are you? Guys, the Felicidades, Andy Ruiz. I said it yesterday. I can watch that third round over and over again. It'll go down as one of the classics. Tommy. We be here. Exactly. Jim Seagal. Abstract. Cool. Like the way people are forming relationships in the room. That's great. Miami in the house. Miami. Welcome to Miami. Delvic Tilly. Sorry, I didn't mean to mispronounce that. Delvic Tilly in the house. Miami, Florida. Bet it's super hot over there. We're just climbing into the 70s right now here. And I hear on the other side of the US, we're hitting the 90s and the hundreds already. So any recommendation locations for steam cleaning? There is an amazing steam cleaning thing that I bought on Amazon. I'd have to give you guys the name, and then the chemicals. I buy this really strong carpet chemical, and I do it. I only have a few cars that have cloth, right? But most of my cars have leather, genuine leather, and I buy the best, the Meguiar's leather. Got a call from Texas, can't take that right now. Anybody calling me from Texas right now? Unfortunately, can't take it this very second. 90. She's 94. That's insane. And you add the humidity to that, and it doesn't become fun, right? Your air conditioning is running full time, blasting. White baking soda, wet vinegar. Good combo. That'll get the stench out. That'll get the dirt out. Thanks for that tip, Danny. You wrote a great tip there. Read this before, so take note, folks. White baking soda and wet vinegar. You combine that together, that should destroy the odor and clean it up nicely. Marcellus Clay, Tampa, Florida, 92. Holy mackerel, what's going on? Why do we have 70 over here? Send us some heat, baby. I need to get down to Malibu, to the ocean. I want to go surfing. I want to go out. I want to get into the water. This water is so freaking cold. You put your toes in this Pacific Ocean. I'm sorry, it's cold. So send us some of your hot weather over there. El Natural, exactly. Malibu in the house. Yeah, Charles Reindeer, you down from Zuma? Where are you? What part of Malibu? Are you down there by Zumirez, Canaan? Which part? Which part of Malibu? Carlos G in the house. I feel bad for the teachers who drive during the summer to earn extra money during the summer break. Yeah, it's tough. So the teachers who I don't think are compensated, paid enough, now they have to work in their break to make up the money. That saddens me. Zumirez, good. I have clients right there. A couple of houses burned down on Zumirez. That was one of the areas that was hit really hard during the fires. Clearwater Beach. Yeah. Let's see. Uber and Lyft. I'm tired. Heard the news about Uber and Lyft drivers need to stop complaining. Okay. What are they complaining about? I like it. In Australia, teachers are paid on the same scale as doctors. They deserve it. Yeah, exactly. That's our future. You're not going to reward our future, our kids, the people that have sacrificed those hours, that have taught our children and set them up for their future. I agree. Pay them like doctors, man. And education. Knowledge is power. Without that knowledge that is installed in a child, and without the love of the parent, that combination, the knowledge and the love of the parent, where are our children going to go? So yeah, take care of them. Take care of them. Joel, the God of Thunder. Thank you, my friend. Hey, by the way, God of Thunder, my Swedish name, my Viking name, that's exactly that. Thor Stein, that's my name. And my mother said I gave her the most difficult birth, so she called me the God of Thunder. So we have Joel, the God of Thunder in the house. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate you. Paul Trigg, 99 in tally. Ho, 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 99. How are you coping over there? How are you coping? When did it get that hot? Is it like overnight, all of a sudden? Uber and Lyft, the pay. Yep. And you say Uber and Lyft, are you saying that the drivers are not allowed to complain about the pay or shouldn't complain about the pay? Please elaborate on that. I think drivers have every right to try and set this vicious circle straight, to break the circle by improvements between this relationship right here, folks. is what triggers better relationships all around. It'll even trigger better relationships between the rider and the driver. Carlos G, your channel is a blessing to all who seek advice and tips. I love you back, my friend. God bless you. God bless you back, Carlos. Thank you. Very kind of you. You made my day. Appreciate it. Mario S. Okay, thanks, RS Confession. There we go. Negative feedback loop. Yep. I like that. There it is. I don't know why. I don't know why YouTube blocked that one, but I just okayed it. The negative feedback loop, exactly. Roy Watkins, Vegas in the house. What did you miss? Okay, I'm going to recap it for you very, very quickly. I am really bothered about the relationships going south between these three parties. And when I break it down into very, very basics, managerial basics, decision basics, right? I find that the relationship starting here with the company, the way they treat the drivers, the way they compensate the drivers, the way they don't reward the drivers, the way they more or less con the drivers, the way they bully the drivers, the way they manipulate the drivers, the way they take away from the drivers, the way that they use the drivers as little lab mice. That relationship, that toxic relationship from there to there, will then affect the driver's behavior to the rider, because they're going to go out and say, hey, you know what? We're gonna cheat this algorithm. We're going to make the money that you took away from us. And who hurts the rider? So they get pissed. They leave in droves. The driver Sensei HD. I like that name. The driver Sensei. That's like respect, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for the $1 contribution. Much love to you, Sensei. So what I'm saying is that Uber's like wondering why drivers are leaving. They're wondering why riders are leaving. It's in this initial phase here that triggers off. I like that. I like it. My friend San Diego, and now it's Paul Figueroa. Followed your advice and became an XL 3 years ago, and my earnings are so much. You see, Paul went out there and did it, completed the cycle, right? Started off in the X, like, you know, I'm done with this. I'm done with those earnings. I can do way better. I'm going to initiate. Paul initiated a plan, offloaded the one car, went out and got the next car, registered and got in the car. So everyone, huge shout out to Paul for that completion. That means a lot, man. That means a lot, guys. You know, and no regrets. He's out there. I spoke to him. He brings a ton of knowledge to the table. Really enjoyed the evening that I had with my San Diego friends, and then them sharing their input. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Rideshare Confessions. Thank you. I appreciate you. I love you being part of our house. I enjoy your contributions. And I know that you texted or emailed me a little earlier on, and I'll jump on that as soon as I'm done with the live feed. And thank you very much, Rideshare Confessions, for that $10 donations. Whoop, whoop. Shout out, everyone. Rideshare Confessions. Gracias. Dankeschön. Spasiba. Merci. Thank you. There we go. Thank you. Will do. Will do. Good vibes. Journey with Jordan, same vicious cycle that led to the taxi industry to have the reputation they do. Stinky cabs, drivers that cuss at you, drivers talking on the phone during your trip, drivers who try to scam you. Yeah, you know, you start, the taxi organizations will start treating, maybe if they started treating their taxi drivers better, maybe giving them the software that we have, right, which is already in the making, and allowing them to, you know, have an all-round better experience as a taxi driver would probably lead to riders taxi passengers being treated better, right? You know, back in the day when I used to take taxis, guy would take you on a longer trip, try to make some extra cash out of you, or smoke while you're in the car because it's like total FU attitude, right? Those days are over, my friend. Those days are over, right? They're hurting. And the reason why they're hurting is because these guys are getting 5-star service at no cost. They're not even paying much. They're paying a fraction of those taxi fees, right? So something here has to change, has to radically change in this cycle. There have to be measures implemented here. There have to be measures implemented between these guys here so that this gets better. I don't want attitude from riders. You're already getting the best service from a pro. Don't give me attitude in the car, right? Don't slam my door, right? Don't leave your shit in my car, my trash, and think that I'm going to be cleaning up after you. You know, come on, riders, show some respect to the drivers. Just because you might be pissed off in this relationship, right, doesn't mean that you have to let it out here. Wise King, what about the new rider share company you talked about, please? Anything new? I updated the house earlier on. Is that the social media platform where I'm going to be requesting all the YouTubers to come on board to bring all the rideshare drivers onto a common platform, including gig workers, including rideshare drivers unite that have done a couple of the strikes, is that there is a meeting place and a decision place and a polling place and a survey place where we move it forward, right? And then on the 4th of July, we kick off into Independence Day when we want to become independent. So not too many spoiler alerts, a lot happening in the last 4 weeks. And right now, my money is going one way, and that is out. It's paying people to get this done, right? So yeah, facts do matter. Facts do matter, right? And sadly, there's so many distorted facts today, right? That people believe they can clearly get away with lies, and lies are the norm. No, they're not. Facts still matter. Facts are the truth, right? And you should never change that, because otherwise you're going against your own integrity, against your own morals, against your own values, if you think that facts are not important, right? They are. They're very important. They are what make us. They are what give us the integrity. So to me, facts are everything. It's a fact that this relationship here is toxic. It's not, they can't pretend and say, oh, it's wonderful. That would be a lie, right? The fact is, there's a lot wrong right here. The fact is, there's a lot wrong right here. The fact is, there's a lot going wrong right here, right? Those are not lies, those are facts. You're welcome, Wise King. Thank you. Yeah, a third rideshare company is needed. You know what? And gosh, I would hope a fourth and a fifth and a sixth competent players get out there and mix it up with Uber and Lyft, because then they have to pull up their pants and they have to pull up their socks and they have to rock and roll. Right? Important. Cool. When it goes live, I'll keep an eye out for it so I can put a word out in DC. Much appreciated, my friend. Most of the riders in DC do not know that Uber and Lyft took away the surge. Maybe that was their way of punishing them, right? These guys got creative in DC, right? Taking advantage of the algorithm and driving the surge price up. And I'm not really faulting for them, right? I understand why they did it, because it started here. But now you see this vicious cycle, just as you said. Now the retaliation starts. We will take away your surge. We will punish you. So there we go. In that washing machine, in that hamster wheel, stuck in that vicious circle, right? You got to break the circle. You got to get competent leaders together. Listen to me, competent leaders. Derek Kay to me is not a competent leader, and I'm not shy to say that. I'm really not shy to say that. I have not seen anything of value, even throughout that 180 days of change. There was just money pissed in the wind, right? I have not seen anything good come out of that 180 days of change. I would rather call it 180 days of chaos, because in those 180 days, they tried out, they beta tested, they gave, they took away, they implemented, they took away, they tested, they took away. That's not 180 days of change, my friends. That's 180 days of chaos, right? Restore that. To restore that chaos, you've got to break the circle here. Living in Uber have bad drivers. Did they get rid of bad drivers? They're getting rid of bad drivers all the time, but they got to do it on both sides. They also have to get rid of the bad passengers. And you know what? The thing is, what I'm going to push in the next live stream, passengers, riders need to be ID'd. They need background checks. I don't care if it costs the company another $15, $20 to run a background check. But on the weekend, you had a lady, Carly, friend of mine. Dustin's in the house. All is well over here, my friend. How's it going your side? How hot is it over there, Dustin? We're creeping up to the 70s. Smakovich in the house. We welcome him. Much love. Back to the Smakovich for entertaining us, for bringing value, for uniting us, for bringing such good suggestions. Always welcome in the house. Shout out to our buddy. And we're talking about the 180 days of terror, the 180 days of chaos, and how we can change it, how we can break this vicious circle, Dustin. Because to recap, Dustin, quickly, talking about the relationship Uber to the drivers, the relationship drivers to the riders, the relationship rider to Uber, all these interrelationships, right, are fragile at the moment. That's a good word. I think fragile is a good word. Rideshare Phil, face it, Uber is getting a lot of bad press over poor pay. Most any business would be horrified over such press and would quickly remedy the poor treatment of employees and contractors. Very well said, but the bottom line is they're not remedying it, right? They're not coming up with a treatment. They're not coming up with an antidote, right? They're allowing this to happen and continue. And then they shouldn't be surprised that riders are leaving. They should not be surprised that drivers are going to the other company, right? Exactly. You don't have to pick up every passenger if he looks shady. Just pass him up and go to the next, right? Because, hey, if you don't want to take that passenger, the next guy is going to take them. You've got to use your smarts here. Your human skills are like so vital. Your gut feeling, your solar plexus is everything. If it feels off, it is off. If something feels wrong, it is wrong. Trust your instinct, folks. Always trusted my instinct. In one incident when I was in the wrong place, I could have easily got my neck slit, right? I could have easily got a bullet in my head because the guys had their machete, had their guns in the car. It's how you read the situation and try and turn it into a positive. I turned a very horrible, horrible situation into a positive, and I got out there. I got out. So your instinct is key. When something is off, it's usually off, right? If a guy is getting in the car like that one guy and starts taking off his shirt, it's off. Not an ambulance. Boise in the house. Much love to Boise. Joe River for you, Idaho. Sending you love from Cali, my friend. Listen, What do you think about the changes to come in California on independent contractor or employees? Roy Watkus. I can tell you something. Some people will like those, say, hey, we want to be independent contractors. Some will say, hey, I'd rather be an employee. But I can tell you the money is going to get better, right? And you can rely, if you know that you're earning X per hour, you can do the math, my friends. You can count, hey, if I'm going to do 30 hours a week or part-time 15 or 20 hours a week, this is the figure that I can rely on. And you can start doing your calculations, your budgets, right? What do I need for the rent? What do I need to pay my kids' tuition? What do I need to have in the bank to put food on the table for 3 kids or 2 kids or 1 kid, right? You can do better calculations. And I can tell you it'll be more than it is right now. Because right now it's dismal. It's really, really sad. Okay, that message by Journey with Jordan. If worse comes to worse, Travis Kalanick's nerdy ass still got rich. Still got rich. He got filthy rich. Filthy rich. David Turner, we pretend we didn't hear your comment. We pretend we didn't hear your comment. Easy Uber, do you have a dash cam? Yes, I do. I have the Vantru N2 Pro, but I keep it off. If people notice it and say, hey, why do you have a camera? I say, I will switch it on in case I need to. If needed, I will switch it on. It's easy. It takes me 1 second, right? Kenneth Morrison, much love, my friend. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Appreciate the contribution. Thank you. South Coast Rideshare Master, if we were independent contractors, they need to let us set own prices. Well, I think the market will dictate those prices, right? The question is whether Uber will be willing to pay or maybe shut down that market, right? They might just say, you know what, screw you. We're going to shut down that market. We won't be making money if we have to pay you guys out so much, right? So there have been many markets that Uber has shut down. They've gone in, they've tested, there've been competitors in that market. They couldn't keep up with the competitors. They shut it down, right? Some markets are not making them money, right? I know that they've abandoned the Chinese market. Companies like Didi and Ola and those companies are doing way better in other. The Brazilian market, Uber was seeing their ass. They're losing a lot of money, so got to change it up. Use a GoPro as a dash cam and turn all the lights off so people don't think it's on, but it's on all the time. Very, very cool suggestion. JS, unfortunately, I hear they are starting to cut rates with Uber Eats. They are, because again, with Uber Eats, they're up against a lot of competitors. Postmates, Grubhub, DoorDash, Deliveroo, Amazon jumping into the mix. So, the markets, the sectors that Uber is not going to making money or is bleeding money, they're going to start cutting and eliminating. They're going to focus on the big markets where they're making cash. So depending on how California goes with the employee status or independent contractor status, Uber's going to have to make very, very big decisions in the near future. Terry Smith, what's the question, my friend? I try to accommodate everyone in the house. I try to read all the messages, but I also understand one thing, it goes down fairly quickly. The messages come and go. The more people that are in the house, the more suggestions, the more ideas that are shared. It just runs straight through. So I catch whatever I can. DoorDash pays better than Uber Eats, says Journey with Jordan. Phil K in the house. Uber eats it. Yep. Uber eats its own cash. Julio Rodriguez in the house. What if we bid on a ride and then the rider can choose the lowest bid? Ooh, that's a dangerous one. I'll tell you why. I think your idea is great, but let's say going back to what Julio said, let's just play this scenario out. The rider puts out a trip, start bidding on it. First guy comes in, puts $15 on that. The next guy comes in and says, hey, I will do that trip for $11, right? The ultra desperado drivers will drive that price so far down and destroy the price points, right? You will set the price points so low that once riders understand they can use that platform to their advantage, none of the drivers are going to make the real money that they should be making. So your concept, your idea is great, Julio, but in the real life, right, in theory and practice, in practice, putting it out there, it would drive prices down to an all-time low. And I would say a lot of drivers would be out of jobs and only the real desperados would be driving. Danny from the Bronx says, I only had to kick out 2 riders from my car. That's good. That's good. And I bet you they deserve to be kicked out of your car, right, Danny? They did some shenanigans, some crap, and you're out you go, lads. Enjoy the street today. Sure, Carly's Kruger. Will do. Bob Thorpe. I don't like how these gig companies cut pay like it's no big deal, and they aren't very transparent to begin with. Yeah, they sort of like quietly, slyly do these changes, and then we figure it out, and it's like a ripple effect, and we start talking about them here, right? So, very sort of cunning fox-like behavior by some of these gig companies. Little foxen. Foxy fox. Why are you drinking out of your wife's coffee mug? It's not my wife's coffee mug, dude. Wrong, Nick Punt. I have multiple of my own coffee mugs. And I'm divorced. But I have a splendid relationship with my ex-wife. It's like my best friend, right? Because we have kids together. I have a lovely girlfriend, I can tell you that, for the last 4 years. Amazing girlfriend. She has 3 kids. I have 2 boys. So if we go to Hawaii or we go on holidays or Palm Springs, always 5 kids, 2 adults. A lot of work. Randy Gerard, hello everyone. I sure hope that GOAT has a pickup fee for trips that are 10 minutes away to pick someone up to go 3 blocks. What do you say to that? Amen. I say amen to that. I say amen to that, right? Guys, here's the cool thing about a new third company. You learn from the mistakes of the other 2, of these 2. You learn from the things that they are doing wrong, right? And that's part of the social media platform that we're rolling out in the next few days, is that we take those ideas, we take real facts, right? It's a fact that these guys playing around, doing the surge, taking away the surge, that doesn't work for drivers. You got to implement something. If it works, keep it, right? So very good point you made there. Thank you. I appreciate that. The new company covers all the states, not international yet, but in the US, right? And I'll tell you something, it's astounding how much the fees cost state to state. California being one of the most expensive states to get the licensing for this rideshare company where, unlimited, all neighborhoods and cities can participate. To give you an idea, the insurance, it's called the TNC, right? Not the TCP, the TNC, to get the go-ahead. It's what limousine companies, buses, and all of that have to pay. Has a minimum $40,000 insurance policy per year for the state of California. So when you're starting a company and you say, okay, huge market, San Diego, San Francisco, Orange County, LA, Palm Springs, Monterey, Santa Barbara, Los Angeles, all of these surroundings, Fresno, Bakersfield, Inland Empire, 40K, 40,000 folks for California. Gets better in other states. It's the same with our damn DMV costs. My Cadillac Escalade is almost like $600 something per year. It's crazy. for my new 1968 that I just registered 2 days ago. There were back fees for 2 years, $667, $668, something like that. Ridiculous. So JS says, I like that idea, Carlos. What a great idea did Carlos just share. Tommy, my good friend here, my first $5 earning with Uber or Lyft goes to a $5 lotto scratcher daily. Woo! Love it. Hit that lottery ticket, baby. Show us the money. Show us the cash. Cash in on that lottery ticket. Sending good vibes to your lottery ticket. The SAR 98, the early days were good. Back in 2012, when they started here in Arizona, we were getting paid $20 an hour just to keep the app on all day, every day, and back. And then it was just Uber Black only. Thank you for sharing. Randy Gerard, maybe ex-riders that don't tip should not be able to rate drivers. Oh, that is a fancy idea. Does deserve merit. David Turner, I like pay to rate. Pay to rate. Pay to rate. Pay to rate. Straight up savage. One scenario is to start our base. Hey, as the pickup fee, then start calculating. I want mileage and time from the guarantees every ride, $5 to $6 minimum. I like that. You see, now these are real good ideas and real good input that needs to be shared on this new platform when we announce it. And there's going to be a long, and actually try and make it like a 4-hour live feed. Because guess what? I have asked my tech guys, my programmers, to create 100 all-stars. Whether you have an all-star rideshare YouTuber in London, whether you have an all-star rideshare YouTuber in Toronto, your Dustins, your Harrys, I have set up parking bays, 100 parking bays, which I call the all-stars, right? And we're all stars. That's no doubt about it. We're all pros. We're all stars. But remember, we need these all stars to drive the message forward, to beat the drum, so that these companies like Uber and Lyft take that very, very serious. That's collective input. That's how you move things, my friends. Okay, that message. So as far as a timeline goes, Rideshare 411, Professor, so when do you think your company will roll out? I want to make something clear. I am funding a lot of the beginning phase of this company to get it to the point where we can really blow it up, right, and get it going. It's not going to be my company, right? I'm going to be an instrumental captain on steering the ship. It's not my company. I want to get something going, by the drivers for the public. So it's a group effort, right? This is not the me approach here. Absolutely not. So we got to. Kenneth Morrison, did Torsten just pull an Aussie? Possibly. What did I say? What beer do you like best? Are you asking me, or are you asking one of your fellow guys? I have an answer for you. I think it's a Czech beer made in the Czechoslovakia. Listen, with Trip, again, Journey with Jordan, with Trip, good intentions. I want them to work. I want them to succeed. But for almost a year now, I've been hearing coming soon, coming soon, coming soon, coming soon, coming soon. I don't know how soon it's going to come. Is it 2045? Is it 2047? Or is it possibly 2058? But we can't wait around until we grow old, guys. We've got to take action, right? So Nelson Menard, why not start a GoFundMe so drivers can invest? It's all done, my friend. That's what you get to see on July the 4th. That's what's happening right behind the scenes, right? And it has to appeal to all, so everybody can participate on the level they wish to participate on, right? So that's being done. And there's many, many good platforms. There's crowdfunding, there's GoFundMe, there's Indiegogo, there's Angel Invest. If anyone ever wants to get a project off the ground, just do yourself a favor, look at the different platforms available to you. Crowdfunding.com, GoFundMe, Indiegogo, Angel.co. These are all great ideas where people got the initial seed capital, right? Go out there, maybe raise $100,000, $200,000 in the next round, maybe raise $1 million, then maybe raise $30 million, then raise $100 million, and then raise $1 billion. Seen it over and over again, right? The company that I sold the name and the logo, handshake.com. True story. About 10 days ago, the guys that bought it from me for a lot of money, and I'm not going to disclose the figure, for a lot of money, but they sold it to Shopify for $100 million. When I did the deal in 2014, I bought the name, I think, in about 2011. American military equals freedom. That doesn't fly here. That has nothing to do with the subject. Sorry. I got the name in an auction, and when I negotiated the sale of the name handshake.com, I wanted equity. Even if it was 0.5 or 1 point equity in the name. They didn't agree to that, sadly. When it sold about 2 weeks ago for $100 million, that a half a point or a point could have made me another $500,000 to $1 million more, right? So these guys were already thinking big. They knew that they were going to sell this company down the line. Handshake.com sold to Shopify about 2 weeks ago for $100 million. And as far as the name goes, I definitely played a big role for many, many years. So, think big. Where did we start all of this? On these platforms. That's what I'm saying, like on angel.co, where you have angel investors, not venture capitalists, not VCs, right? Venture capitalists will put a lot of money into your company, but they'll take a lot of control, probably most of the control, 51% or more, right? That's what they really strive for, right? But angel investors will take a backseat position and allow you to drive your idea forward. So check it out, angel.co. Check it out. If you have an idea, check it out. Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding laws changed a few years ago where people can fund smaller to medium to large projects based on crowds coming in and putting in money, $500, $1,000, etc. The SEC never used to allow that. Those laws had to gradually change, and today it is possible. Today it is possible that 100 people together can buy a house and then turn that house into an Airbnb and make money, right? And then you get your shares because you're part of an LLC. You were one of the people that crowd-funded the purchase of that house, let's say in Palm Springs, or a villa in Italy that's now turned into an Airbnb that's making money. And the company is paying dividends to all of those individuals that initially crowd-funded that house, that villa, right? So it's a beautiful thing, crowdfunding. It's a beautiful thing because it gives the little guy, the mom and a pop, an opportunity, right? Just like we're doing. It gives them an opportunity to be part of something bigger. It gives the driver an opportunity to become part of a company, even on the most minuscule scale, right? And then you could say, hey, I take some form of ownership. I was part of this, right? That's the beauty of crowdfunding. And those laws are now in place, thanks to a lot of legislation that passed, thanks to the SEC for lowering their standards, that it didn't have to be just an accredited investor, right? Back in the day, said, no, crowdfunding cannot go forward because these have to be accredited investors. To be an accredited investor means you have to have a lot of money and you have to have a stellar reputation. Now, those type of projects are opened up to the public. The public can participate with $100, $500, $1,000, right? So they can be non-accredited investors. And that legislation, I think, stimulated the economy a lot. Definitely did. I'm very new. What is the purpose of the GoFundMe? I'm going to tell you right now, illusionist, it's not going to be on GoFundMe. The purpose is to get a new third company off the ground that drivers participate in, that drivers have a say in, from the name, from deciding on the name, from deciding on how many shares the company is going to issue, right? Growing that together, even on the most minuscule scale, even on a $10 scale or on a $5 scale, right? You know, if you want to get involved in TRYP, TRYP, to become an influencer, it's $149, right? And I'll tell you straight up, truthfully, why I put the $149 into TRYP as an influencer. I'm not out there influencing other people. You can see that. I wanted to see the mechanics, to break it down, to reverse engineer, to be able to go into the back end of TRYP and understand what are these guys doing, so I can talk qualified about a company, right? How can you talk about rideshare as Derek K if you've never been in the car? You can't. You don't understand the business. So in order for me to understand TRYP, right, I got to be able to go in the back end. To that entry level is going to cost me $140, so I can break it down and see, what are these guys doing? Are these guys legit? Are these guys for real? Will their marketing work? How are they remunerating people? Is this set up as a Ponzi scheme, right? So that is the reason why I paid the $140 to TRYP, is to break down and reverse engineer their product. What do they have to truly offer? And I can't see much. I can't see much from $140. And because I paid the $140 and I cannot promote and bring, I will not promote and bring in people to something that hasn't had a future, right? That is just based on a lot of promises. So that's my take on TRYP. You have it. I am initiating the third company, yes, starting at JJ. Correct. I will not be the CEO. I will definitely be on that leadership board, but I will drive it forward. Just like a captain and a co-pilot have to steer a plane to landing, or have to steer an ocean from one continent to the other continent. Yes, I'll be part of that journey, 100%. Yeah, Jerome D says, TRYP seems to me like it's a slick form of MLM. It is an MLM. It is multi-level marketing. They have only implemented things for the driver who recruits another driver, who recruits another driver and gets remunerated for recruiting another driver. They have ignored one of the biggest segments, the rider, the passenger. How do you become successful, right, if you don't have a healthy relationship between company and the rider, company and the driver, driver and the rider? A new company who is getting new drivers involved, these drivers have to say, I will proudly tell this rider or my friend about that company. This relationship is going south right now with Uber, the rider-driver relationship, and the media is feeding that frenzy. The amount of stories you see daily about reporters talking about these issues, is a lot of news around that right now. JJ, there is nothing wrong with MLM, right? There are only a handful of MLMs that have truly succeeded, right? May it be your Amway, may it be your Herbalife, may it be your Jeunesse. There's a couple of models that truly work. But 90% of these MLMs burn out. They're nothing. They don't have anything to offer, right? They don't get traction. Thanks, Abstract Echo. I'm glad that you're enjoying the job. I'm enjoying rideshare, guys. Rideshare, Lisa, I see a couple of people promoting Trip on Facebook looking for drivers. Now, going to that statement, the company, and I've met with the company and I've told, hey, do not have these Trip drivers spam our channels. The amount of time I spend cleaning up links, promotional links, right? It's costing me and my team money. So you're opening yourself up to a massive lawsuit, Trip, if you are allowing your drivers to spam unsolicited um, unsolicited mail, unsolicited links to all these channels, right? So they started telling their drivers, hey, you can't do this, right? Stop doing this. But the drivers don't care. They have no regard for the law that Trip has set in place. And Trip has not punished any of those drivers, has not deactivated. So they'll do what they want. So that to me shows the first signs of a company that's out of control, where a company cannot come down on drivers that are just spamming. They made these laws and said they would punish them, and they're not punishing them. It's double standard, right? So that's a dysfunctional company in my eyes. Kenneth Morrison, put passenger ratings on a personal bell curve. Wow. How do you guys feel about that? It's a great, firstly, thank you very much for the $2 contribution. I appreciate you, Kenneth. How do you guys feel about that statement? Put passenger ratings on a personal bell curve, right? How do you feel about that? For some folks that may not understand the true definition of bell curve, you may want to give you an chance to elaborate on that. Sorry, I'm just returning a text here quickly. You want to, otherwise, let me just Google it and read it to the people. So the term bell curve will be only known, I think, to a few people, but what it means is a bell curve, also known as a normal distribution curve, is a way to plot and analyze data, folks, right? That looks like a bell curve. They're usually like this. Have you ever seen them? The bell curve. It goes like this, up, smooth like a bell, and down, right? The highest point is the one that has the highest probability of occurring, and the probability of occurrences goes down on either side of the curve, just to elaborate on that. Thank you for sharing. Say no to GMOs, no genetically modified organisms. Yeah, horrible, horrible stuff. Genetically modified rice, genetically modified fish. Terrible, toxic, right? Monsanto is a big, big culprit of that. They really are. It's sad that the United States allows Monsanto to do damage to our people, and all these other markets, whether it's Japan, Europe, they banned, right? Genetically modified, right? When you're putting something into a body that's genetically modified, it starts modifying your DNA, your cellular structure. People don't know that, right? You get sick. You got to eat natural, right? Whatever comes from the earth, whatever comes from the trees, whatever comes from the plants, whatever grows on your farm, your cows, your chickens, or whatever that are eating natural grass, right? Versus steroids, versus all that toxic shit that they inject into animals so that they get fat in 21 days, ends up in your DNA. Just like GMO. Marcellus Clay, plant-based foods, thank you. Hey, we had a quick little diversion there on food and eating healthy, but hey, GMO triggers me because people just don't know enough about GMOs. Abstract Echo. That's the funniest joke of the day. My teacher once told me, don't worry, I grade on a curve. I told her that doesn't matter. I'm stupid on a straight line. That's a good one. I like that. I like that. There we go, Jim Seagal. Totally Totally deserve to say that. That's right. That's why I stick with shrooms and weed. Here we go. Works for you, it works for you. No genetically modified rideshare organization. Yes, I think that's what Uber and Lyft are. Genetically modified rideshare organizations. GMRO. GMROs. We say no to the GMRO. We say the no to the GMRO. That's it. No to genetically modified rideshare organizations. Trying to modify us, trying to brainwash us. They're trying to label us with platinums, golds, and frickin' whatever other metals. We will not be modified. We are already pros. Right? They will not change our DNA. We stay our way. Facts, baby. Facts are important here today. We preach facts. You are what you eat, Tony Slaughter, 100%. If you're going to put on burger after cheeseburger after cheeseburger after cheeseburger after cheeseburger into your body, you will turn into a cheeseburger, into a fat cheeseburger. You are what you eat. True statement. Say no to GMRO. Say no to GMRO. Sounds like a strike we can organize where the guy's walking down the picket line. Say no to GMRO. Hey, that's a nice one. That's why I enjoy humor. That's why I enjoy having this guy in here. You bring good value to our house. I like it. Listen to this. Abstract Ecto, my personal philosophy. Laugh with me, laugh at me. I don't care. Just laugh. How cool is that statement? Just laugh. Have fun, guys. Keep it light. We're out there stressful enough on the 405, the 101, the 10, the 105. Stressful enough with all the fast and furious drivers. You're contending with the fast and furious. That is stressful. So you go home, you unwind, you come into the house, you laugh, you share. Right? De-stress channel, my friends. De-stress channel. Got to de-stress. Paul Trigg, remember, we're mad at hell and we're sent going to take it anymore. If you could, I'm trying to read what you said there. Can you just say that one more time, please? Ismail Ahmed Quadri, how are Uber modifying us that they're just car driver ride company, right? How are Uber modifying us that they're just car driver rider company? I'm trying to understand your question, buddy. If you could maybe break it down a little bit. The way I read your question is that it's sort of like, just for them, it's just two relationships, their relationship with us and their relationship with the rider. But it's way more complicated than that, because as soon as you have three parties involved, there's a lot of different relationships going on, right? So if you want to elaborate on that, I'll gladly try and answer it. I'm trying to understand the question. Tommy, walk for a minimum of 20 minutes daily for your health. Super important. Whether you get onto a bicycle, whether you get on just to walk around your neighborhood, but just circulating the blood top to bottom, heart to the feet and back to the brain is important. Just even important for the nervous system to keep everything flowing, right? Don't stay stagnant. Cannot drive around for 8 hours and not stretch or not walk around a little bit. You got to stop and switch off for a few minutes, walk around your car 3 or 4 times, walk next to your car a few times, right? Move, get the blood flowing. Can't just be in like this situation. This is how we seat, right? Feet down here, head up here, this shape here. Not healthy for you. Got to get up, move your body a little bit. Abstract Echo says Journey Jordan, but that's only in laboratory rats. Michelle is Clay. Keep it simple and maintain. So laugh. 100% right, my friend. 100% right. Positive attitude. Ray Mendiola. If you could write that again. That one just slipped away from me. Hey, somebody asked, how much money can you make in LA versus Fresno? Now, the cost of living in Fresno is very low. So to get an apartment, and that, the cost of living is way lower, right? There are not as many requests. LA is more like, okay, you can decide you want to live out Pasadena, West Covina, South Bay, Torrance. You want to go to Ventura, Thousand Oaks. You don't have to necessarily live in the most expensive zip codes like Santa Monica, Brentwood, Pacific Palisades, Malibu, Beverly Hills, right? Where it's to rent there, you would not be making money in the rideshare industry. But let's hypothetically say you're in an area where the rents are slightly a bit more affordable. The bottom line is when you get in the car and you start driving around LA, your frequency of trips versus Fresno is like day and night. The amount you're getting paid per mile, per minute is also very different. So, for a new Fresno driver, Uber will pay like $50. For a new Uber driver in LA, Uber will pay $700. That should tell you a lot, right? That's 14 times as much. They're paying 14 times as much to recruit a driver in LA versus Fresno, just to give you an idea. Try to do some math there for you. Ray Mendiola, a passenger asked me to get him a pack of cigarettes and deliver it to him. He said he would give me a tip, but I said no. I like that. You're not supporting smokers. Yeah, I think I would have done the same thing. That's lazy, dude. The guy can't even walk down the road to get himself his own cigarettes. Travis Myers, hello from Bessemer City, North Carolina. How are you, buddy? Charlotte Market, awesome. Greetings. How are you today? Comtech, start a new rideshare company owned by the people called Libar. Don't like the name, but I like the idea of starting a new rideshare number. But the word Libar, Lyber, not marketable in my eyes. Rideshare confessions. Okay, guys, I'm out of time. Got to get the Suburban ready for tonight. Disco lights. Have fun, my friend. Have fun. Go out there, make money. Have fun. Get those disco lights going. Mirror balls, disco lights, ultraviolet lights, strobe lights. Party on, baby. Party on in that Suburban. Vroom's in the house. I like that name. Vroom. Hello, everyone. Hello back, my friend. Leeds, UK in the house. We welcome you. Leeds, UK in the house. 2 thumbs up to our UK friends. Thank you for saying hello. Black lights, yeah. UV lights, they're good. Anytime, my friend. Anytime, Sensei, anytime. Disco lights for a minivan driving Uber XL. What do you think? Hey, I made videos. If you go to my earliest videos, you will see me in an XL and in a Suburban with my disco lights, right? When I was more catering for the younger crowd. And had a lot of fun. It made driving a little difficult at times. And cops didn't like it. So I sometimes then only played the disco lights when I was at the venue, at the concert venue, the first few minutes when I'm standing there, everybody's getting on board, 1 or 2 songs, switch off the disco lights, right? But driving down the highway with disco lights, woo, there's a lot of stuff going on. Right? It's like a psychedelic trip. It's a little dangerous. John Travolta, yes, Grease, like go Grease Lightning, with the disco ball. Yeah, exactly. Journey with Jordan, that might happen. Disco fever. Mervyn Khan, the cuts that Lyft made to drivers with Acura MDX and the Infinity SUV vehicles, restricting the category after drivers purchase these cars based on doing all the category. You know, that's bullshit. What I would do right there, and this is what upsets me about Uber, they don't think it through. So they have these cars and can say, hey, you can drive the Acura, you can drive the Infinity, right? And you go out and purchase it. Then later to pull those models. And that could have been influenced by another car company that's putting money into Uber or Lyft, right? So here's my answer to that. Hey, you allowed it at date X, and now you're disallowing it. Take it to court. Sue them over the loss over the car. Now you're not going to get a court case, and it's not going to be heard before a judge, but you get in front of an arbitrator, mediation, and then you couple that with a lot of media, right? Anybody that can show me, hey, I bought this car, and here they said they would allow this car, and now they say they didn't allow this car, and now I can't drive anymore. I want to do a story on that. F that, my friends. They can't just willy-nilly make a stupid decision that cost you $15,000, $20,000. Incredible. Unacceptable. Saturday Night Fever, baby. On this past Saturday night, I think I had Saturday Night Fever. Oof. It was a long day, and come 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning, I was starting to get Saturday Night Fever. Powerful young Moses, do you think Uber will enter the weed delivery business? There will be other companies already actually spoken to, one or two, can't disclose the names, but the weed delivery business is going to become huge and it's unstoppable. Whether Uber wants to go down that road, who knows? But there are companies gearing up for that. They are. The more you know. I'm a Fresno driver and I tried LA just once. All was good until I learned of Lyft line. And this is what ruined it. Is there any way to avoid Lyft line? Nah, not really. It's like the pool and Lyft line. Not really. Here we go. So South Coast, Rideshare Mars said, Uber cut Mercedes GL out of Uber Black. It's only Suburbans, Yukons, Cadillacs. Okay, I get it. But allowing expeditions now? So many people tell me now they order select because they don't want an expedition. Interesting. I don't understand the rhyme and reasoning why these guys take cars out that they accepted first and then are adding other cars. Are car manufacturing companies paying for access on that platform? What is driving this? What is driving Uber to take out certain cars and then allowing other cars? It's like, is there any preferential treatment by Uber and Lyft towards automakers? I'd love to know. It's wrong. It's wrong if somebody's put the money into something and then gets told a year or two later, sorry, that category is obsolete right now. Right? Sorry. Greed. Good one, Kenneth. Greed. It seems they only have US-made cars in the Uber Black SUV now. Yeah, who's driving that? Politicians driving that, or lobbyists driving that? Who's driving these shenanigans? How do you avoid Lyft line in LA? It's almost impossible unless you just flat out decline it, but you have to watch your cancellation rate. Okay, guys, I'm coming up to the 1 hour 30 mark. Got a lot to do. Driving one of the great players for the Celtics, the Boston Celtics today. Can't mention names, but taking them to the airport. Family, great Celtics, just a few years ago. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Jerome D, my guess is that car companies have an influence due to sliding sales. Yep, I think they do. I think you got a good point there. I really do. Apptrepreneur, have fun. Thank you for dropping in. Kevin Apptrepreneur, go subscribe to his channel. Really good opinions by a rideshare expert, the Apptrepreneur. very difficult word to write. APPTRPRENEUR, entrepreneur. Kevin in the house. Kevin, we got to do another video together, my friend. Choose the topic. Positive people, be safe out there. Our house, Mikasa, Sukasa, all of you guys today. 2 thumbs up for you. I appreciate you. Great session, my friends. Great sessions. Unbelievable input today. A lot of good. Sergio Robles in the house. Yeah, baby. We're going to go and have an In-N-Out burger together at the airport again. Thank you, Sergio. Much love back to the channel. Kevin's thinking of a good topic. You got it, email it to us. I will come down to Huntington Beach. Same location, the Starbucks outside. Bring your wonderful lady along as well, Kev. Coffee, tea, couple of confectionaries thrown in there, and we got ourselves a good live feed from HB, California in the house. Kevin, the entrepreneur. Thank you, buddy. Okay. Good one, Carlos. Good one, Carlos. You got it. Carlos hit it right there. 2 thumbs up, everyone. 2 thumbs up, baby. Oh, I love it. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. That is pretty. Guys, check this out. Love those palm trees, dude. That reminds me of the islands, man. The islands, man. Check that out. Those are the vibes. The vibes we go out with today. I want to get a shot of those palm trees. I dig palm trees big time. Yeah. Check this out, man. Guys, island mode. Island mode. All have a wonderful holiday today. Even if you're working, make it feel like a holiday. Right? Make like you feel like you're surrounded by coconuts, white sand, crystal water, crystal blue water. Make it a good one. Make it a positive setting for you. Love you all. Deals Doc. We will be employees soon. It's okay. You can count the money then. At least you know what you're going to be making per hour, right? And decide yay or nay. Thank you, House. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Deals Doc. Thank you, Sansai. Thank you, Ismail. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Entrepreneur. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, more you know. Keep it real. Keep it positive. And please drive safe. You are extremely valuable. You are everything. Right? So drive safe. Take good care of yourself, right? Take a rest. Stretch. Eat healthy. Make a video. Share the video with me tomorrow. Love you all, my friends. Appreciate you.